The map that shouldn't exist, this is history in the shadow. Subscribe US, let's start the main story. Our story begins in Venice, Italy, in the mid-1500s. A pair of brothers, Nicolò and Antonio Zeno, were minor nobles with a fascination for exploration. They claimed to have traveled north decades earlier, into waters few Europeans had ever dared to cross. According to their letters, they reached a strange land far beyond Iceland and Greenland. In 1558, their descendant published the Zeno map, a document so bizarre that it would change European geography for over 2 centuries. On it was an island called Frisland, massive, rectangular, and detailed with coastlines, rivers, and settlements. Beside it were smaller islands, Icaria, Estotiland, and Drogeo. Most shockingly, the map depicted parts of Greenland and Labrador with uncanny accuracy, centuries before official exploration. How'd they know? Skeptics claim the Zenos faked the entire thing. But if that's true, how did they manage to predict coastlines that wouldn't be properly charted until long after Columbus? Theories exploded. Some said Frisland was a cartographer's error, a distorted version of Iceland. Others believed it was a real landmass, later swallowed by ice or lost beneath rising seas. But the strangest part was not the island itself. It was what the Zenos claimed was on it. The mysterious colony, according to the Zeno letters, the brothers were shipwrecked on Frisland and taken in by its inhabitants. These people were described as European-like, but different, tall, pale, with their own language, advanced stone fortresses, and ships unlike any known in the 15th century. They called their leader Prince Zichmni, a figure who has baffled historians for centuries. Some think he was an Orkney or Scottish noble who led a breakaway colony. Others believe he was entirely invented. The letters describe Zichmni's fleet sailing even further west, reaching Estotiland, a land rich in forests and minerals, where locals showed them mysterious books written in an unknown script. From there, they allegedly traveled to Drogeo, a wild land filled with cannibals and strange beasts. But here's the catch. No modern historian can fully dismiss the possibility that these lands correspond to real places. Estotiland resembles parts of Labrador. Drogeo matches descriptions of Nova Scotia. And yet Frisland, the hub of this mysterious Arctic empire, is gone. Did the Zeno brothers stumble onto a forgotten colony of Norse settlers who had been cut off from Europe for centuries? Or did they encounter something far stranger, a civilization wiped from history on purpose? The colonial disappearance, why maps suddenly erased Frisland. Strange archaeological finds in Greenland/Canada that fuel the mystery. For nearly 200 years after the Zeno maps publication, Frisland appeared on almost every major map of Europe. Explorers looked for it, sailors wrote about it, and nations even planned expeditions to claim it. And then, it disappeared. By the 18th century, cartographers quietly erased Frisland from maps. No official explanation was given. It was as if the island had never existed. But why? Some argue that no credible explorer ever found it again. Others whisper about something more sinister. Records destroyed, archives locked away, maps corrected under royal orders. There are reports from Scottish and Danish sailors in the 1600s who claimed to see Frisland on the horizon, only for it to vanish in fog. Inuit oral histories from Greenland speak of encounters with pale outsiders who came from the sea and then disappeared beneath it. Could Frisland have been swallowed by shifting ice sheets? Could volcanic activity have sunk it like a northern Atlantis? Or was it a real colony deliberately wiped from history? A settlement whose secrets were too valuable or too dangerous to remember? Clues beneath the ice in the modern era. Archaeologists have uncovered odd fragments that reignite the mystery. In Labrador, explorers found European-style stone foundations dating centuries earlier than Columbus. In Greenland, Norse ruins tell of colonies that vanished without explanation. And in Canada's Arctic, Inuit hunters uncovered rusted iron nails and ship rivets long before European ships supposedly arrived. One chilling discovery came in the 1950s when geologists drilling in the Arctic claimed to find anomalous structures deep beneath the permafrost, rectangular patterns that looked suspiciously man-made. Official reports were vague, and follow-up studies were quietly classified. Then there's the 1960s U.S. military project known as Iceworm, which planned to build a secret missile base under Greenland's ice. Documents reveal they stumbled upon unidentified ancient structures while tunneling. The files remain heavily redacted. Could these have been remnants of Frisland? Or perhaps proof of an even older civilization, one erased not by nature, but by deliberate cover-up? The further we dig, the stranger it gets. Was Zeno's island a navigational error, a hoax, or a glimpse into a forgotten chapter of Arctic history? And if it really existed, what or who destroyed it? Theories modern expeditions today, historians remain divided. Many dismiss the Zeno map as a fabrication, pointing to inconsistencies in the letters. But skeptics struggle to explain one thing. How did the Zenos accurately chart parts of Greenland and Labrador centuries before exploration? Theory. The lost Norse colony, some believe Frisland was a real Norse outpost, an extension of Viking Greenland, cut off by climate change and shifting ice. The Zeno brothers may have stumbled upon its last survivors. Theory. Cartographic error. Others argue Frisland was simply a mistaken duplication of Iceland. Yet this doesn't explain the detailed accounts of fortresses, ships, and locals that appear in the letters. Theory. Deliberate cover-up. A more chilling theory suggests Frisland was real, but its fate was erased. Why? Perhaps the colony tapped into resources, like rare metals or strategic passages, that later powers wanted hidden. In 2018, satellite imaging revealed unusual landforms under Greenland's ice cap, sparking speculation of buried settlements. Meanwhile, fringe explorers insist that a shadow island still appears faintly on radar scans of the North Atlantic. Could Frisland still exist, hidden under glaciers or erased from maps by design? The mystery endures. For centuries, Frisland and the colony described by the Zeno brothers haunted maps, sailors, and kings. And then, it was erased, leaving only whispers of pale strangers, abandoned ruins, and forbidden maps. Was it all a hoax? Perhaps. But maybe, just maybe, the Arctic once held a thriving colony, cut off from the world, erased by time, or buried by ice. The deeper question is this: how many other lost settlements remain hidden in places we think we know? What forgotten civilizations lie beneath ice sheets, deserts, or oceans, waiting to be rediscovered? The Zeno map reminds us that history is not fixed. It shifts, vanishes, and sometimes hides in plain sight. So next time you look at a map, ask yourself, what secrets might be missing? What do you think? Was Frisland real, or just a trick of the cartographer's pen? Let me know in the comments. Smash that like button if this mystery gave you chills, and subscribe for more hidden history bombshells every week. Because sometimes the greatest mysteries are the ones erased.